Welcome back, my friends. We are starting our second 50-day challenge, and honestly, I haven't quite been able to figure out what to call this. I guess we're going to call it 50 Days of Fitness. There are a few things that I'm doing. Today, I don't know when you're watching this, but today is the first day of Lent. And so I waited until the first day of Lent to start this challenge. So there's going to be a lot going on here, honestly. I considered doing one where there's one part of this that I'm going to lovingly call Earn Your Coffee. And I've been playing around with this a little bit. I have a Keurig coffee machine here that I use, and it takes around 2 to 3 minutes when you start it before you get your coffee. And so it occurred to me, I thought, well, while I'm waiting on that coffee, I should do something. And so it started out, I was doing some squats. I would do a few squats. And then I started adding. And so now, when I have coffee, I start this thing and we do like 20 squats, 20 toe touchers. Right now I'm doing 10 curls. We'll go into more in this as the series goes along. 20 calf raises, 10 shrugs, or then some grip things. I do 10 of those. And I do 10 bench press and 10 lat pull. Like I say, we'll go over some of this stuff a little bit, but now, and I get those done in about 3 minutes. So here's the deal. I've kind of combined a bunch of things. So I guess first let me stop and tell you a little bit about me and all of my disclaimers. Number one, I am not a personal trainer. I do not have any formal training whatsoever, whether in school or otherwise, at all. That said, I do happen to know a lot about exercise. I've done an Ironman, I've done some half Ironmans, I've done some marathons, I've done some long distance bike rides, 100+ mile bike rides. I've done stuff with calisthenics, I've done stuff with weightlifting. So I've done a lot of stuff, and I kind of put most of that stuff on the back burner 5 years ago when I had my second bout of cancer. And at that point, I felt like I just really need the rest more than I need the exercise. And so here we are, it's almost 5 years later, and I'm feeling pretty good. And I thought, it's really time. I've made a few attempts before and they just didn't go well. And there could be a lot of reasons for that. But anyway, I've been experimenting around, and there is this concept. It's called, I think it's called Grease the Groove. Sometimes people will call it GTG. And especially people with calisthenics and gymnasts do this quite a bit, but they're not the only ones. You can also do it in weightlifting and all of these things. And basically what it is that you cut your amount of exercise way down, the number of reps, but you do several times during a day. So as an example, let's say that I can't do this. I'm not saying I could do this, but let's say that you could do 10 pull-ups and you want to be able to do more, or you want to be able to improve the pull-ups, or you're trying to get to chest pull-ups instead of just chin over the bar, and you just can't ever get there. Well, so this training method, it's like you have to cut way back, man. Don't be going to 10 and trying to do 11 and all that stuff, especially when you're stuck there. Cut back to about 4. You want to go back to around 40%, 40 to 50% of what you can do, and do 4. And then stop. But do that 4 to 6 times a day. and then do it for, you know, they really say 5 times a week, but really it could be 4, or it could be every day. But one of the things by cutting it way back is that you don't have as much problem with it, and then you can slowly progress from there. And so I've been playing around with that, and it's been pretty good, because I tried to go back to like regular weightlifting, and the first time or two I do really well, but I'm not recovering well. Before, after a couple of days, I would be, I'd be sore for like 2 days, and then I'd be fine. But I would be sore for weeks. It just wouldn't go away. So anyway. So here's the plan. I thought, earn your coffee, and I guess really it's earn your caffeine, because I won't do it for decaf coffee. I'll only do it for regular coffee. And so it's about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I stop. I go on about with my day, and then the next time I want a cup of coffee, I set up my coffee and I do it again. And so I found that I have been doing it most days about 4 times a day. Now, I don't know where you are in your journey, and this, for me, this is like really starting over. But I got to be honest, I'm not starting from zero, because I've been playing with this for a little while, a month or two. I haven't been doing it every day like I should be, but I've been kind of playing around with this. So you shouldn't have those expectations. So what you need to do, if you're going to follow along, is you have to figure out where you are and start. And we'll talk a little bit. I guess let me just go ahead and jump into that today. I didn't think I was going to get into that today, but so you can see I have my first cup of coffee. I've done it once today. The other idea that I'm basing this on is there's sort of this weightlifting routine, and it has different names, but some people call it the Big 5 lifts. And in essence, it's like there are 5 main exercises that if you do those 5 exercises, you basically have done a full body workout. And if I'm, now that I'm on camera, let me see if I can remember. One is a squat. So that's one. One is a deadlift. One is the bench press. One is the bent over rows, lat rows. And the final one is a shoulder press overhead. And so I was thinking a little bit about that, and I do these all at home. I haven't been going to the gym for a while. That may change, but for now I haven't been going for a while. A lot of reasons for that, but we won't get into that right now. So if you think about those 5 big lifts, then what would it be if you were just, say, trying to do that with body weight? And so you can do a squat, body weight squat. So that's easy. A deadlift, instead of doing deadlifts, you can touch your toes. And again, you don't have the weight. It's not as strenuous, but you can do that. Now, I totally get there may be some of you who can't touch your toes right now. But you do what you can do. Then I added this wouldn't be part of it. I'm doing calf raises, which calves are kind of hard to exercise, and so I just thought that was good. And so I do that, and I do the bicep curls. One of the reasons I started doing the bicep curls is, like, during this last 5 years, I've had a lot of atrophy. I mean, so I actually have measurements I was taking from 5 or 6 years ago, so I can look back and I can see kind of where I was 5 or 6 years ago versus now. But I could tell my arms had really atrophied, my chest had really atrophied, I'd gained weight, so And so a lot of it, quite honestly, was for aesthetics. I mean, I had a whole lot of loose skin and wrinkles and things, and I just, honestly don't look good. And I thought, I wonder if I start lifting a little bit or doing a little bit of exercise, if I can kind of get some of that muscle tone back and maybe make some of that, go away. So I do the arms and I do a shrug and I have like a little grip thing. I'm doing those. So those three and the calf raises really don't have anything to do with the big five. I also have upstairs, I have an old little weight machine, oh God, I'm drawing blank. So I'll tell you what it is in a little bit, but I can do like a chest press there and I can do a lat pull. Now, over time, we're probably going to change these things because we do want to change them up, but you're starting at a very basic level. For a squat, if you can't do a squat, don't act like you can't do anything. What you can do, I don't know where you are on your journey. Can you stand up? Let's start there. If you can stand up, just stand up and sit down. And if you can do that 4 times, that's a good place to start. But wherever you are, you start. So you're starting at very low so that you're not really, you're not pushing to failure every time. This is a different concept from that. And so, so we're going to do these. I was trying to do a lot of them with little to no extra weights, but I am using, and I'll show you some of this stuff as we go along. I have like a set of bands, using those. I have my weight machine upstairs, which I'll show you that. And we can do those things, but you don't have to have those things. You could do push-ups for your chest. Now, maybe push-ups are beyond some of you, but maybe you could do, lean against a chair and push up so that you don't have your full, if you're standing straight up and push against the wall, that's not going to do anything. But if you lean in a little bit and push out, that will do something. And so you can do that for your chest. And so you can do a lot of things. I may, depending upon how it goes, do a switch to a pull-up bar at some point and do that. But the main thing is we're going to keep the reps low and then we'll progress. So I will say I've been doing this for a little while now and kind of experimenting with it. And I've been really happy with it. It's I will say I am beginning to see some progress. So that's going to be the main thing of this 50-day challenge is, earn your coffee. We're going to call it coffee. It can be whatever it is. I don't know what your routine is like. Maybe you drink tea, or maybe maybe it's something else. Maybe it's not a drink. Maybe it's something that you do every day and it takes a few minutes and you're waiting. And so why not just knock them out right then? So we're going to call that earn your coffee. But here's the other part of that. I got to think about it and I thought, I don't really see how anybody's going to want to watch that for 50 days every day. And so I've been talking with a couple of friends, kind of getting a little bit of input, and I've talked with not a lot, maybe a half dozen people, and they all said, no, you should do it on fitness. It should be on fitness. And that was what everybody, when we talked about 50 days, that was almost all of those guys said, do one on fitness. So we're going to talk about, in the background, we're going to be doing our earn our coffee. And there'll be a time or two where I'll probably set up the camera and you'll see some of that, but we won't see that every day. But we are going to talk about a lot of things. And so I started thinking about things we could talk about. I made a list. We'll go over those exercises. We'll go over some of the equipment. We'll go over some other ideas that you can do. We will talk a little bit about health issues, longevity, sleep, diet, protein, supplements. We'll talk about cardio kind of exercises, injuries, recoveries, weight loss. So we're going to talk about a lot of things, and I'll pick one and we'll try to talk about it every day while in the background we're doing this. Now, here's an extra challenge. And nobody, I mean, it's whatever suits you. So that first one, earn your coffee, that's really basically an exercise challenge. But in the background, I have another thing also going on because it's Lent. And so for Lent, I'm doing a sugar fast. I don't know if you've done sugar fast before. I think most people have. I mean, most people have done sort of a diet or something like that. But I call it a sugar fast where basically you're not having sugar. And I think when I first did it, so I'm going to say there are different levels of that sugar fast. Probably the easiest first level is just don't eat sweets. So no cookies, no cake, no ice cream, no candy, none of those things. That's like level one. The next level would be taking it up a little bit more, and it's like, okay, so in addition to that, start cutting out other things that have sugar kind of hidden in them. And so that would be like condiments. I mean, you'd be surprised how many condiments have added sugar. I mean, it's a lot. You need to start reading the labels on the back of things. A lot of things that you buy, I bet you'd be surprised, like cereal. Cereal, that should go out with sweets, absolutely. Cereal, fruit. Most fruit has quite a bit of sugar in it. It's not like cane sugar. It's not like refined sugar. It's fructose. And so most fruit has quite a bit of sugar in it. And so that's like maybe the next level. Then the next level would be kind of counting carbs. And so there's a lot of things that we eat, and they're not really sugars per se, but they become sugars. And so I would say, I don't know exactly where alcohol falls in there, but alcohol would be one of those that would fall in one of these categories. Another thing is starches, bread, pasta, potatoes, rice, those things. And so there's actually there's like this, I don't know if you can call it a diet, but some doctors will say it's the no white diet. In essence, you don't eat anything that's white. And that's like 95% takes care of it. So basically that would say no pasta, no bread, no potatoes, no rice, and then really that would probably be milk too, milk and milk products. Milk, and I think milk is actually reasonably healthy for you, but milk does have sugar in it. So I'm going to go to a pretty extreme level. So because of Lent, I'm going to do a sugar fast, and I'm going to do the no white level. So no sweets, no pasta, no rice, no potatoes, all of these things. And we're going to see kind of where it goes. I've been kind of surprisingly, last year I lost quite a bit of weight. I got down as low as 205 right around Thanksgiving. I've come back up a little bit. This last week, I knew that I was going to be doing the sweets, getting rid of all of the sugar fast, doing the sugar fast. So I cheated a little bit. I had ice cream a few times this week because I knew I wouldn't have it again for quite some time. And I'm going to be doing the sugar fast. I'm going to be doing the sugar fast at least through Lent, but I may go ahead and do that all the way through the 50 days. So I don't know if you've ever given up stuff for Lent or not before. Lent, the idea is it's 40 days of fasting, but it doesn't include Sundays. So when I first started doing it, they say, oh, it's 40 days of fasting. And I thought, I know it's been more than 40 days. I mean, what happened here? And then I found out that they don't count the Sundays. So when you add that in, I think it's 46 days. So we're going to run past Easter just a little bit. But we're going to do this, and the biggest part of this is consistency. You know, and if something goes wrong and you don't get 4 to 6 times a day one day, if you do it once in that day, you've done better than if you haven't done it at all. If you miss a day, you know, but you do the other days, you're still better off than if you had not missed it. So you don't let like a slip up throw you off. So anyway, that's a very long first episode. Here we are. I earned my coffee. I got it right here. I don't know if you're going to do this with me or not, but we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things over the next 50 days. And it's kind of a mess. I know it's kind of a mess. This is my second series here, so I'm learning, trying to figure this out. But hopefully there's something in here that you find interesting, and maybe you'll do it with me. If you are going to commit to it, let me know, put it in the comments, and I'd like to hear how you're doing. I'd like to hear what you decided to do. Are you going to, earn your coffee? Are you going to earn it something else? Are you going to do something else? Maybe your exercise isn't this. Maybe you're going to do something like, bike every day, run every day, whatever it might be. I'd like to know what it is. So that's it for today, my friends. This was a very long one. I will try to keep the future ones. I usually try to keep them around 10 minutes, 6 to 10 minutes. So I will try to make the future ones shorter. And I hope you will join me. And, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.